Welcome back to Debug Diaries. I am Manharsinh Jadeja, and in this our episode 3 of our Blazor crash course, we are going to explore our first Blazor web application. So, for the better learning purposes, you guys can move to the 1.5x playback speed. So, throughout the learning process, you can get a better experience. So before we create our Blazor web application, there will be some prerequisites that you have to download to run this in your local machine. First will be the .NET SDK, and second will be the Visual Studio. Regarding the version of Visual Studio, you can download 2022 Visual Studio or some updated version of that as well. So it will be fine. So let's create a new project. So when you want to create a Blazor web application, in the right hand side you guys are able to see some predefined template, or in the search box when you search with the Blazor, there will be some predefined templates are already there that you can use. Earlier, when the initial type on a Blazor application, when the Blazor was published newly at that time, they are providing the different templates for the both hosting models, as well for the server application as well as for the WebAssembly. Means you can create the separately, but now it's not supported. So if I'll try to create the Blazor server application, as you guys can see here, that it is supported from the .NET Core to .NET 7, and as of now we have a latest version of .NET 8 and 9 as well. So these are the some obsoleted we can say template. There is no need to use go with that. So for the developing purposes, you can go with the Blazor web application. Now in this, let's give a name our first demo. Let's give it like our first Blazor demo. Fine. So now, as I said, now it is supported the .NET 10 and .NET 9 as well. So we have a long-term support for the .NET 8, so we will go with that. Now the authentication type, there will be a if you guys are aware about the identity, so it will provide the authentication and authorization predefined template. So in the authentication type, if you will select the individual account, it will create the template which have already written the code, or we can say there will be a predefined code will be there for the authentication and authorization purposes. So as of now, just for the demo purposes, we are not going with that, as it will be make our project structure a little bit complicated. So for the demo purposes, we will go with the none. And if you guys want to learn about the identity, just comment it out here. I will make the video on that as well. So we are configuring HTTPS. This is the interactive server render mode. This is the main part if we compare to the previous templates. In the earlier, as I've said, you guys are able to create the server and WebAssembly project differently, but now in the web application they have given you options that if you want to create the only server application, you have to select the server. If you want to create the only WebAssembly project, you need to select the WebAssembly. And if you want to create with the both, or you want to create a project, or your requirement is to go with the both, and you can select the auto. So it will create the server and WebAssembly project both. As of now, the demo purposes, we will go with the server. So it will create a one server project for us. For the interactive location, in future videos I will explain you all about the interactivity location. Just for now, just understand that if you will select the global, just one thing keep in your mind, that in our every component, in our every ledger pages, there will be some render mode that we have to define. So if you will select the per page or the component, that means every component you have to define that render mode. And if you select the global, there will be a globally render mode was already defined, so there is no need to define per page. So now include sample pages. Yes, we want that. Do not use the top level statement. Regarding the top level statement, if you guys are not aware about that, let me explain little bit in a fast move. Earlier we have a one file, that is Program.cs, in which we have a main method, or there will be some boilerplate code in that Program.cs file. So in the some upcoming version of a C#, or I can say some updated version of a C#, they have introduced the top level statement in which they have removed all this kind of boilerplate code, and there will be an empty program.cs file. So whatever your logic will be there, you can directly write into that program.cs file. Yeah, so we will go with the new technology, we can say, update with. So there is, we have to use the top level, so don't need to select, do not use top level setting. So now let's create this. So as project is creating, we will see the UI first, and afterwards I will explain the folder structure, how things are going through. Yeah, so our project is already created. In the solution explorer file, you are able to see the different files that is created by default as we have selected the Blazor. So now let me build my solution. Yeah, so it is built successfully, there is no such error. So now we can run it. Yeah, so our project is built successfully and we are at the Chrome browser. Yeah, so in the left hand side panel you can see the three tabs: home, counter and weather. This is the predefined, I can say, template for the server that is created by the Blazor itself. This is the counter. When you click on the click me button, it will be auto implemented here. So earlier, if we talk about the MVC, if this kind of functionality you want to implement in that MVC, there will be some line of code, JavaScript code that you have to write. Then and then you guys can able to achieve this. Rest, there is I don't think so there is any such option. Using that you can achieve this. So now in the Blazor, there is we haven't tried any such a single line of a JavaScript code here. With the use of only C# we are writing this. Yeah. So it is a runtime implementing the current count of a counter. Yeah, fine. So let's go with the folder structure. In the folder structure, first we have a program.cs file. As if you are a developer or you are working with the C#, I hope you guys are already about the program.cs file. I can say it is a main entry point of our application. So whenever you run your application, the first entry point will be the program.cs file. So what we are doing here, these are the already predefined code that is created by the template. We haven't write any single line manually. Yeah. So in that, first we are creating the builder, in which, as we are using the Razor component and we have created the interactive server component, so these are the both services that we have to add. Afterwards, we are building our project. We have builder.build, and at the end we are running that our application. Yeah. Afterwards, we have a app setting file. If you guys are aware about the app setting, there will be some configuration throughout our application that we have to put. So that kind of configuration we can put over here in the app setting file. There are two different files, appsetting.json and appsetting.development.json. So as its name suggests, whenever you guys are developing something, at that time your configuration should be there in this file, and your actual production configuration will be in appsetting.json. So whenever you run project in the development mode, it will take this appsetting.development.json, and at the time of publish or at the time of release, it will take the configuration from the appsetting.json file. Yeah, so it's clear. Now let's move the component. First, before we go to the layout and pages, there are the three files: imports, app and routes. Let's get a tour of all three one by one. So first is the import. There will be some predefined namespace, or I can say there will be a lot of namespace that you have to mention in your Razor page throughout your development processes. So while you are developing, there will be some namespace there. Those are going to use commonly, or you need to use that in a common, or the most of the, I can say, Razor points or the Razor component. So at that time, these are the imports. Those are configured globally. We can say that throughout your component folder or throughout your application, these namespaces are using. So if you have defined your namespace here, so there is no need to define in your razor pane manually, we can say, or just separately you need to define. Yeah, it will take directly. So this is the one kind of, I can say, the global using file that we are mainly using in the C#. Now second one is an app. I can say this is the initial point. As for the application purposes, our application's initial point was a program.cs. If I talk about the component, then app is the initial point. App.razor is an initial point of my components, I can say. In this I have defined the render mode as we have selected the interactive server. So it is globally defined that mainly the heads outlet render mode will be the interactive server. Now third is the routes. Throughout our application there will be a different routing. As I have clicked on the home, it is going to the home. As I have clicked on the counter, so it is opening the counter pages. So the routings are only accessible through this page. So these are the necessary files. Those are created by default. There is I can say there is a quite importance of this file. So without any prerequisite or without any proper logic, don't change in this file. If you have a proper requirement and if you have a proper understanding of this file, then you guys can change in this file. Rest no need to change in app and file. In most of cases it will be a fine. Sorry. Yeah, now we have layout folder. In layout folder, as throughout our web application, Blazor is we already are aware about that Blazor is a front-end technology, we can say. So there will be some main layout that we have to define. That as I have run our project, in this our project, our navigation menu, we can say our left hand side bar is a predefined fix. So these are the some things that we can define throughout our project, that we have to use the same throughout our project. So that is our main layout, that in our main layout we have defined that kind of thing. Yeah, so we have a navigation menu. Here we have rendered our body. That means this is the part of a main body part. I can say this is the main development layout. Here in which I have implemented the navigation menu. This is the code of a navigation menu. Yeah, and this is the part of a body. So now as it is a main layout, and main layout I have already rendered with the route as well. Here you can see the main layout is a default. Yeah, so whenever you are developing any such a component, that component's body will be rendered here. Yeah, so these are the some predefined code will be already there. If you guys want to change anything, you can change over here, and the body part will be what? That will be your component. Now might be you have a doubt that if I want to create my new layout, then how can I do? Just whatever your requirement, just create the layout. But the only thing is that at the above of that component you have to write the inherit layout component base. This will be the namespace, I can say, or this will be the component using the Blazor will get identified or can understand that this is a layout, this is not a normal component. Yeah, so fine. So these are the different points, different pages that is created, like the home. First, in the home page or in the razor pages, you have to define the routing path of your of your application. Like as I have home, I have defined the slash. This slash means this is my initial point. Yeah. So throughout our application there will be our initial point that we have to define. Without that it will not work. So as we have defined the slash, that means home will be my initial part. So whenever I will run the project, the first initial port will be called is a home. Afterwards I have a different pages, like it is a counter in which I have given the sorry, as I have given the namespace page routing like a slash counter. So in the browser, if I'll do the slash counter, I will able to access that. Yeah, you can see it is a slash counter. Yeah, it's a home. As if I here write the slash, it will redirect me to the home page. If I have a counter, if I'll do here only slash, it will redirect me to the home page. So these are I can say this is my initial page will be there. Yeah, afterwards we have this different kind of weather page. We have what we are doing in the weather page, that there are some data of a weather that we are taking and we are just putting it over there. Regarding the counter, we have I can say we have used the data binding. So data binding is our upcoming video, will be covered in our upcoming video, so just tuned about that, stay tuned about that. This is the now www root folder. What will be there? There will be some static images, I can say. There will be some static css files, scripting will be there. That things you have to put in the www root folder. Yeah, so this is all about this structure of a Blazor web application. If you guys have any doubt about this structure, or if you guys have any concern about this video, you can just comment it out below. I will go through that and we will try to figure it out into next video as well. Regarding just for the demo purposes, we want to change something like yeah, as this is my initial home page, I can say here I can change hello world from Debug Diaries, right? Okay. So now when I run this, let me build the application. There will be functionality for the I can say auto reload as well. So if you guys want to use that will be fine. So it is built successfully. There is no such error. Let me run. Yeah, so now you can see hello world from the Debug Diaries. Yeah, so that was all about our first initial demo with the Blazor. Just stay tuned about our next upcoming videos. We will go through that and I will teach you as we have created this our first project for you guys. I will upload this on our GitHub repo as well. So if you want to get there is no such a logic in this repo, but still if you guys want to take this code, you can take from that our repo, right? So this was all about that. Yeah, thanks for connecting. We will meet soon. Bye.